Right, welcome back. Last time we finished the conquest of Crimea because Theodoro was forced from independence, forced to be independent during one of the wars with Jochielus. Probably Alungi did that. And right now I'm trying to conquer all the Karamanids, as well as hopefully grab a bit of territory off of Servan. I mean, I'm kind of hoping for that. Of course, trying to get that peace deal is going to be expensive. I don't think there's much of anything else other than some reforms. I don't quite remember what I did. It has actually been a while since the last time I recorded, so... Oh, that's fine. Right. I wonder if that's enough. Not particularly. Not for that, but for this, yes. Alright. Wonder how many coins I can grab. That's the size it goes. Okay. That may end up causing a coalition, I certainly hope not. Right, those areas will get efficient integration, and then I'll gain claims on some of the areas required for the Armenian Highlands mission. For some reason, the Armenian Highlands mission gets me a claim on Upper Armenia, despite the fact that I already get a claim from the Seljuk successors, and is part of the requirements of the mission itself. Right? Yes. Heck, I already own all of the Upper Armenia area. Expand the theme system. Get cheaper cores. Province is still under siege. Well, time to go resolve that. Oh, and I've become weak enough to take Castile on as a rival. Or well, my navy has become weak enough relative to theirs, because my navy is ridiculously strong. I may have overdone it slightly. Let me just put it that way. Of course, Vidden, you will always have... I'm always willing to grant you military access, because why not? I believe the Von area is part of the Armenian Highlands, yes. Oh, I've got a permanent claim there? I'll take tech next year.
At the same time. Unfortunately, the AMA...
Oh, I completely forgot to grab tech. Let me rectify that. Mannerism. Admin efficiency +2. Circumnavigation of the globe. Shipper durability +2%. Trade range +60. Enables pathing rank 4, technically. I'm not sure the pathing system still works like that. If it still is broken. And bulletproof army. Infantry fire +0.1. Artillery fire +0.3. Making artillery more effective in combat. That's the only way to make it more effective in combat. think that might be a new merchant. Thing is, I've gained and lost merchants often enough to say, yeah, it might. Well, I don't remember there being 10, though. 10 seems like more than there was previously. So probably should look into that. Which way would... Well, not this Elysian node. I already have the Persian node. Wait, does the Lower Nile node flow to the Aegean Sea? But I have so little power there. Because that's the thing. With inland nodes, I can take advantage of the fact that I generate caravan power. I control most of the Anatolia node, the Black Sea node is the same way, although less so provinces, more so important provinces. I've got a really important province in the Volga node. Plus, you know, caravan power. Well, no, okay. It's literally just from provinces. I got 61% of the trade power in the node just from this port. Plus, well, trade power buffs. Transfers for traders downstream, merchants present. 83% trade power modifier on the node. Yeah. Just sheer amount of buffs from trade power to trade power. Khorasan node has only one output, but no one's bothering to output into the Persian node. However, I would only get 40%, whereas if I were to do the Maranwan node, I could send it to the Volga node, which I have over 60% control over. Although a decent amount is already leaving. Still, if I can get caravan power, well, the Caspian definitely gets caravan power. Of which I have 16.5. If I get a similar amount of trade power to this 34.7, I would easily have about half the node. Which would be about 0.8 flowing to there. Similar would be true of this, however, like I said, I don't have that much control over the node here. I only have 40%. Of course, my caravan power is ridiculous because I have a load of dev. The most dev out of anyone in Europe. That's for sure. Probably. So this would have to get me 50% more. With a total of 3 versus 1.6. Plus the Persian node. Well, okay, it sends it to the Anatolia node, which I get almost everything out of. I guess the Volga Black Sea chain is similar in power. Well, 0.38 times 0.78 versus... You know what, let me get an actual calculator and see the efficiency of value sent. I have to double click here. Okay. 0.61 times 0.69 is about 42%. 43. No, 42.1%. The other is 0.78 times 0.38. Which is about 30% efficiency. So, okay. The thing is, it's a question of 3 versus 1.6. And 3 is worth far more. So there's a 12% increase versus 30, so it was a 40%. 1.6 is just over half of 3, so it would be best to send it to this node, the Khorasan node. Sure, it will go to the Iran node, and we'll make, say, Tehran, or Savan, or, okay, maybe not Savan, but, or Astrabad. Okay, really, mainly just Tehran, more powerful, maybe Khorzid. Depends on where their market capital is. Which I think is in that node. Tehran files, closet. Astrobot seems to be collecting in that node. I'm not sure where their capital is. There, yeah, okay. Right. I gotta do political stuff because I forgot about it. Okay. We're at 80% state reach. And 45 bureaucratic influence, which means it's the perfect time to do some reforms. Lots of reforms. I have the ability to do a lot, if I so choose. Problem is, this will cost me so much corruption, but I've got a huge amount of money. So a reduction in stability and all that isn't actually going to be that big of a deal. The real trouble is this is going to drop estate elite loyalty like nothing else. Okay, I want an accurate measurement of noble loyalty because they're the ones that I need to be cautious of. The 10-year stuff needs a couple of days before it actually expires. Range of strategic marriage. I don't think holding grand celebrations is a great idea. Right. First, expand the powers of oversight officials. This will most heavily affect provincial corruption. Enacting provincial reform will get me even more state reach and reduce the cost of the administration. It's too expensive to do that. I've burned too many points for that. To perform bureaucratic hierarchies. And implement and review secondary hires of new hires. I cannot do anything more. It would just be too expensive in loyalty. There, that should cause the 10 years to be available again. Overlook tenure. Abuse, promote support commerce, tenant abuse, support commerce, and perform a show of devotion. This much reform has caused a lot of problems. About plus 50% to provincial corruption. And about plus 40 state corruption, so don't expect me to do much for a while. I thought it may be a war or two. Well, the coalition has ended. In theory. Yeah, okay, everyone's gone. Good. That means that aggressive expansion must be low enough for enough countries so that they don't really care. Yeah, it's still just Mamluk subjects that hate me so. Kirib and Savan are a little bit annoyed, but not by much. Same with Kyrgyzstan. So I really should look into going to work in down here at some point soonish. But these claims last for 60 years, so, well, for another 50 years. So I have plenty of time to allow aggressive expansion to cool down while I look into other things. Like dealing with my permanent claims over here, for example. Of course, this will be another set of issues, but Burgundy is reasonably weak when it comes to army count, especially after I decided, hey, I've got so many troops, I might as well set up a second army. Yeah. State reach has reached an average of 80% in the realm, so I decided to do 3 separate reforms. Upgraded to higher with review, rational divisions within provincial administration, and something else. What was it? Well, it was a third thing. I don't remember what it was. Unless I did hire with review twice. Oh yes, hire through exam. No, I don't think I did. I might have done that on accident. Done it twice. I don't remember doing that. I thought I did French corruption reduction twice. I guess I must have done it on accident. This specific reform twice. Oh well. That's why burgher loyalty is at 5%, clergy loyalty is at 18%, and noble loyalty is at 24%. And also why state corruption is 60 plus, and provincial corruption is 80 plus. And stability is at +2. Don't worry, I'll be getting more soon. Oh, and why my income's that bad. Negative 41 per month. Yeah. It's not just because I have a much larger army than I was previously using. Not just. Still, corruption's going down again. Very rapidly. I mean, state corruption's going down by 4 per year at the moment. That will rapidly decrease. Provincial corruption is also going down by 5 per year, which is also going to decrease, although effect from laws is now minimal compared to effect from state. As both go down, that effect will reduce. I mean, the listed point for corruption currently is at 22 or so, and a lot of that is from provincial corruption. And the resting point for provincial corruption is about 26, assuming that provincial corruption change is the same. Sources of corruption say otherwise, though. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it says it's around 30. But state corruption is going to reduce rapidly, that's for sure. Well, the effect of the state on provincial corruption. There is still laws and stuff. Bureaucratic hierarchy, civil examinations, and regional tenure. Those are the 3 law sets I'm going to have to improve upon. Going to advanced hierarchy removes these effects, so it improves autonomy and both kinds of corruption while increasing provincial administration costs. Then there's civil examinations that go to standardized examinations. Will improve it by 10, in fact causing a reduction in provincial corruption. They'll also increase administration costs by a bit. And then, well, there's regional tenure, which dramatically increases provincial corruption, but also improves admin efficiency and base welfare. So systematic rotation actually makes the administration less efficient, but also less corrupt, since they're no longer able to build a power base. Yeah. Anyway, as for political, well, international stuff, there's not exactly all that much happening. It's outside of China invading Bengal, which seems to be common. Very common. Sweden's also almost entirely gone. All they have left is apparently one province over here. Yeah, based upon that. I can't exactly see the innards, really. But I think Poland now controls all that. Yeah. Pretty sure Poland controls all that now. Or is that Burgundy? Yeah. So Poland controls almost all of Finland. Burgundy owns almost all of Scandinavia. All that's left that they don't control is 3 provinces along the west coast of Norway. So yeah, you heard of Burgundy forming the Netherlands. I already made that joke. Might as well do it again. You've heard of Burgundy forming the Netherlands. How about Burgundy forming Scandinavia? Of course, they'd have to change cultures, which, because of their size, the AI is extremely unlikely to do. I mean, a player at this point would try to go for it. Costs a lot of admin points, though. Because at this point, why not? You'd have a much easier time because you've lost... literally lost every province of your primary culture. Of course, at this point, most players would give up, but On the other hand, you've basically turned yourself into a Scandinavia run. Rather effectively. I mean, Poland's having their fun. Though they're going to have to integrate Lithuania if they want to form Poland, Lithuania. Yachiolus is still existing, though that's probably because they have a truce with all their neighbors. I also gained another merchant and sent them to Khorasan. Because I figured that would actually be the most... I went ahead and calculated it. It's actually more efficient than sending a merchant here. Which is honestly kind of funny. What's really interesting is that there's almost no one pushing value out of the trade node. However, here, I certainly am. Now that I put a merchant here, and I'm getting caravan power. Though I'll likely make it so that my next merchant's over here. Yeah, I get more trade power, though less trade value. In total. I've also avoided sending a merchant here because there's not much of a point. Although it would mean that at least some of this value is being sent to the Aegean rather than somewhere else. I don't know, I just put my merchants where I think is most effective at pushing value. Although, in practicality, trade is not the gold mine that it is in the base game, simply because that's not the point of the trade system in MNT. It's to allow for the transfer of goods, actual trade, to happen in a way that's modular and limited. So small countries only have tiny markets to work with. Unless they've got unless they're in a node with where a lot of other countries are interacting. Then they have their markets to sell to as well. And of course, I do also find it kind of unlikely that I'll get much value out of trading in Khorasan, unless they have a lot of goods that I don't have. Bypassing the Silk Road. Well, bypassing the very reason for Portugal colonizing, at least historically. I'm also, for some reason, getting information on stuff down here, which is weird. Where is your captain? Oh, this is Zanzibar. This is Zanzibar's. Oh joy, Zanzibar, what are you doing? That name is mildly terrifying, based upon pure size. It looks like they're having a great game right now. I mean, they did have 150 years to diverge from the start date, so... Tacked up, though a year later than I had hoped to do, because I forgot about it. I'm slowly converting the new conquests, so it's taking its sweet time. Most of the Cappadocians have immediately converted, though not all of them. We've got a hefty amount of Shiites here. Now that means that there's probably quite a few Sunnis here as well. Yeah. So it should be easy to get a plurality of Orthodox. Though most of the Shiites happen to be rurals, which tend to be the least likely to be converted. Now there's an interesting mix over here. At the very least, the next time I send a missionary here, it should be easy to convert. Now we've got the same problem in this place as well. Oh well. Hopefully a cultural conversion will do its work eventually. It did so previously with the Osmanlila province, probably because I already have it as core. Yeah, they converted to Rum culture. Rimsky. The Bulgarian culture in this province converted to Rimsky culture. Okay. Are there a lot of Egyptoi, Armenoi, Aromanian. Oh. Well, Greek. Gothic, Grakanki. Well, Gothic doesn't even exist. Georgianoi. Perses, Pontic, Rimsky, Vlachoi. Scalanoi, Pontic, Mesopotamoi. Mesopotami. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of potential mixed cultures that can arise. We do have another culture slot. Do want to best use it on. I mean, it depends on how much. Okay, so there's some. Okay, quite a bit of Seljuk provinces. Wow. I would like to embrace Kilikian culture at some point. Okay. I mean, the total amount of Kilikian culture is actually kind of tiny. I'm letting Kartvelia deal with the Armenian, the Highland Armenians. Both cultures. So there's a lot of Seljuk culture available. Especially in areas that I might end up conquering anyway. I think that's part of the island. Yeah, I've got cores in this, not cores, claims. Yeah, I think it might be best to embrace Seljuk culture. I am not embracing this culture. Screw them. Okay, yeah. It does seem that that when converting cultures via the cultural conversion mechanic, they don't actually convert to, well, this culture. Instead, they swap to a different one. Rimsky culture for the Bulgarians. I'm sure the Armenians get their own special one unless they also convert to that. This province changed to Rimsky culture as well. Maybe it is. Maybe Albanian also converts to Rimsky culture. I mean, the cultural conversion process here is 91%. So, yeah, it's really high on all of these provinces. Except for Skodrin. So if it does convert to Rimsky culture, we'll see soon. It does mean that Albanian, that they're not going to cause wrong culture issues for long in most of the provinces, which is good. For me, anyway. Disclaimer, cultural erasure, generally bad. There, I said it. Anyway, but this is just a game where you're playing as a hegemonic state, so what is good generally happens to be good for the state itself. So, yeah, disclaimer, what's good in the game for you generally happens to be good for heavily powerful states, which interests need not align with the general population or their morality. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.